Well, here it is. The reason why humans and elves are locked in a never-ending war. The relic for which human and elf are willing to die. The stick of truth. Whoever controls the stick controls the universe. Don't gaze at it too long, for its power is too much for mere mortals to look at.
Alarm, alarm, alarm!
What is it?
The elves are attacking!
Oh my god! Defensive positions!
With the release of South Park Snow Day just around the corner, I decided to check out the first of the more modern South Park games. Although I grew up watching a lot of the show, I never ended up playing any of the games, and this was my first experience. And I was pleasantly surprised. From minute one, South Park, The Stick of Truth, feels like a proper South Park property. I mean, this game actually resembles the show, and you can tell the original creators were heavily involved in the development and they didn't just phone it in. And unlike most movie or show properties turned video games, this is also a proper video game experience. The real kicker though, is that the talents were combined with Obsidian Entertainment, developer of some of the most highly rated RPGs out there.
The Stick of Truth has been stolen, and we must assemble our entire army in order to get it back.
But our 3 best warriors still haven't reported for duty, my king!
Our newest member can take care of that. Douchebag, I want you to go out into the neighborhood and find my greatest warriors, Token, Tweak, and Craig. I'm texting their pictures to your personal inventory device now. But beware, the lands outside are full of marauding drow elves, monsters, and 6th graders. Be sure you're well equipped. Now go! And send my warriors here!
The visuals in this game are, in my opinion, really good. I think a lot of people will forget or dislike this style because of how much it looks like the show. I mean, to me, having an entire studio build their art style based on someone else's is actually not easy. The amount of detail and work that would have gone into capturing the right vibe and atmosphere, yes, even in a 2.5D animated style as basic as South Park, is really impressive. The team would have had to pay such close attention to detail and understand their source material so well to really reproduce that same style. Like, it's so much easier for a company to try and just do their own thing because you've got a blank canvas basically. I mean, Snow Day is in 3D and the game's not even out yet, but I've already seen complaints about how people dislike it because it doesn't look exactly like what people are used to.
Yeah, tell you what, new kid. Get the right clothes and some cigarettes and coffee and then talk to us again. Yeah, if you want to prove you aren't a conformist, then you need to look exactly like we do. Then maybe we'll consider hanging out with you.
Personally, I found the way the characters are animated and moved to be really well done. Like, I'm not an artist or game designer, but I think you can usually tell when something just feels off. And everything here feels right, like just right.
Don't talk to her, she's not part of the game.
Like, obviously this isn't a very graphically intense or techie game just looking at it, but by the way the characters move and behave, it just looks exactly like they would in the show. From the way they move across your screen or up the stairs, to the special effects during combat, the game shows off just how authentically it matches up with the source. I was honestly really surprised with how much this game actually looks, feels, and sounds like the original series.
I can see that you are not Canadian!
I mean, I'm guessing it's probably actually very basic how it's been animated, but I feel like there's a real confidence in the way that Obsidian work.
I am God!
So much so that even the way the characters speak looks exactly like they do in the show.
Yeah, I can. I have the Stick of Truth.
Oh, and don't forget how awesome their cutscenes are.
Oh, Jesus, it's the bird!
Prepare for battle, weaklings. Elves, fall in. Douchebag, it's a trap! You should have never come here, humans.
Now, the music. It's pretty damn good. Maybe I'm being too easy on it because of all the games I've reviewed recently, but I've really come to appreciate the musical scores in pretty much all of them.
That didn't count!
Even if it's not to my taste, I appreciate the differences and the detail and the nuances between each one and how much work must go into making them. I mean, the music in this game is surprisingly epic. Like, it really embodies the whole Dungeons and Dragons vibe and the whole high fantasy style story. Like, it's probably not quite a Halo or Final Fantasy level theme where I might listen to it as I write or work, but there's a definite quality about it.
Going down, bruh.
Hallway monitors to the right hallway.
Oh, god damn it!
Here they come.
They're gonna get you, Craig! You're not getting out of detention!
I'll be out of here in 10 minutes.
Drow
Moving on to the voice acting, I really have to say it's honestly excellent.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude.
Like, that's the review.
Alright, my guardian.
I mean, they've literally just used the original voice actors, so it's as good as you can get.
Some kind of strange orcish.
Having the creators heavily involved means that that is the gold standard. What I will say though is that I think it's actually incredible the amount of voices the main duo cover. Don't get me wrong, there were a bunch of other voice actors who have done pretty well, but Trey Parker, man, like, these are some of the characters he voices. Look how big that list is. I mean, personally, I get tired doing voice recordings for these reviews, so it blows my mind the amount of time and work he's put in. Like, how do you remember exactly what each character's voice sounds like?
You see? No matter which way you go, I block you.
I mean, it's pretty obvious a lot of the voices have overlap whilst watching the show, but I now have a newfound respect for the amount of voice work he does.
Khloe Kardashian was in here this morning. She had the biggest abortion I've ever seen.
Okay, first off, I feel I need to preface that this is a South Park game. What that means is that this isn't going to be a super deep or emotional experience. It's South Park. You're going to get that classic immature, vulgar and lowbrow humor mixed with some genuinely ridiculous yet entertaining moments. Having said that, if you enjoy any of the South Park show, I think you will definitely enjoy the story.
Sorry about that back there. Almost all photographers are perverts, you know.
Not only does the magical D&D premise fit the style and humor of the characters, but it actually lines up perfectly with the gameplay.
Stop dicking around.
You play as an unspoken new kid that's just moved to town and adventure through meeting pretty much the entire cast of characters from the show. And it's all done so fittingly with the rest of the story that I found it super entertaining.
You entered douchebag, is that correct?
The only issue I had was that the old men at the Australian Classification Board decided to censor a good portion of what looked to be the best bits of the game.
We've got to get inside that Taco Bell and find out what's really going on. Help me with that and I'll help you with this. I saw you on the ship. You have pretty good control over your farts. Meet me in the bathroom. It's time for you to learn some real power.
Now, when it comes to humor, there are definitely going to be some differences of opinion because everyone's different.
You call me with this. I give you one per day.
But if you're watching this, you're probably a fan of this style of humor already. And if not, why are you watching a review on this game?
That means he's coming after you, Warlock. What?
Look, having said that, it's not always easy to do it well, but I think they really nail it here. I mean, some bits are kind of funny, but some bits actually made me laugh out loud.
Well, what are you waiting for? Pull it out.
No, we can't just pull it out.
Like some proper hilarious moments. The thing is, I think the genius in the Stick of Truth is in its self-awareness. Like, it's already uniquely South Park in how it handles some of the ridiculous moments, and it really pushes that boundary.
We'll see if you're a real doctor. Give her an abortion. Do it!
Obsidian Entertainment have outdone themselves with how often and how well it's managed to capture the essence of both the show whilst understanding the classic RPG audience.
Alright, new kid, you've officially proven yourself.
Like when you search every inch of the map as you do in RPGs.
New kid has checked out everything in my backyard. Hardcore gamer, wow.
Like they even poke fun at the games industry with that often unspoken protagonist.
Son, I'll give you $20 if you talk right now.
I think this is what really sets Obsidian apart from your average developer.
Using your ability takes power points, or PP for short. PP.
They really just understand their target audience.
Craig, this is detention, okay? Stop looking at your watch because you're here for 3 hours, buddy, okay?
Whatever.
Now don't think your friends are gonna come bust you out this time, Craig.
My name is Feldspar, and I'm a level 6 thief, and the humans will soon rescue me from this tower.
No, your name is f***ing Craig Tucker and you're in detention. Now start doing your homework.
Okay, now the gameplay. This is a big one and not something I expected to be talking about so much for a South Park game. Honestly, when I first laid my eyes on this game, I thought it'd be a hack and slash or beat 'em up type game in the vein of maybe Streets of Rage or something.
You're quite the fighter.
This isn't the case at all. South Park: The Stick of Truth is a turn-based RPG. Like, it's not super deep with a million builds and min-maxing involved, but it is at its core a turn-based role-playing game, and a pretty damn good one. And it's not often you find a movie or show turned game, or game turned movie or show, that's actually really good. There's something about the transition between these two mediums either way where things just go pretty badly. I'm happy to say The Stick of Truth is one of the rare examples where things are done so well in pretty much all aspects that it really manages to break that mold.
Hey, you did it!
The elves, they took the stick! And it's bullshit because that is totally cheating. We specifically said no trying to take the stick at night. Elves are dirty little liars and we have to lay waste to their entire base.
Being an Obsidian title, those familiar with the developer would have expected as much, but those that aren't will be very pleasantly surprised. It is absolutely an uncompromised experience. Like, even if you're only interested in the RPG mechanics and aren't a South Park fan, I think you will find value here. I wouldn't say it's as deep as the traditional type of RPG, but it gives you enough variety, customization, and options to keep you engaged. For example, there's 4 classes to choose from, one of which is, in classic South Park fashion, called Jew. Each of these classes comes with their own unique abilities, strengths, and weaknesses. And in my opinion, there's reason enough to replay, even if it's just to try each one out. I mean, I'd imagine there's different builds and tweaking you could do with each one to really push the game. Now, I would probably recommend playing on the harder difficulties though, to get the full experience.
You're joking, right?
I regret choosing medium because it starts off challenging, but you end up pretty overpowered.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I did notice that I avoided some abilities or spells because I wasn't very good at using some of the controls for them.
Dude, that was pretty lame. Try it again, dude.
But they aren't strictly necessary and each ability has a different mechanic to them anyway.
Let's see how you like dealing with me.
There really is a lot to this package and it's just really well crafted. I mean, the mechanics built into the game are pretty interesting. Like, there's a number of different damage types with residual effects like bleed or stun or, my personal favorite, gross. There's also upgradable perks and patches that can be applied to your huge smorgasbord of weapons or gear. There's consumable or throwable items and even summons that fit nicely into the world. The variety of enemies is also interesting and the bosses you encounter are all pretty unique. Top of all of that, there's a companion system that fittingly lets you choose one of the original 4 boys plus a few side characters. Each has their own unique abilities, some of which are outright hilarious. Like, even for fans of the show, the humor can get old, but the gameplay will keep you engaged. I mean, it might look simple, but there's actual depth and detail all throughout.
That's far enough, intruder. Where's your hall pass? No hall pass? Then it's time to write you a referral.
I was honestly pretty surprised with how this one turned out. I expected a pretty superficial game and got a really fun, engaging, and hilarious experience. And like, I can't even imagine how someone would pitch this game as an idea in a boardroom.
I'm afraid so.
Individually, each of the core aspects of this game are so different and don't really marry up, yet the whole thing just works. Look, if you're partial to the show or turn-based RPGs, I think you will enjoy this game. But if you enjoy both, you are missing out if you haven't already tried this one. I definitely recommend South Park: The Stick of Truth in 2024. If you've managed to sit through this whole video, thank you so much for watching. I'm still looking to upload a brand new video once a fortnight, but be sure to let me know what else you'd like to see in the comments. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully, I'll catch you in the next one.